And we are live. Oh, okay, cool. So let's give it a couple minutes, and we are gonna start at 1 p.m. on the dot. So we have 2 minutes. I'm gonna take that extra time that we have because these are very very busy folks. I am so lucky to be able to have you both at the same time. And then it is so timely because Zack, who works with Nrwl, has just built his blog with Tailwind CSS. And we're going to be looking at that as part of this demo. And Amadou, who's our GDE here and who's not like stranger to the community anymore, has like his talk accepted for like NG Conf 2021, which is going to be about Tailwind CSS. So the timing is perfect. And as I was just saying to Zach, I was just ready to give up 2 days ago when I was so frustrated with the install. But Amadou was like, no, don't give up. I'll come and help you. And it was past midnight in France for him. And he was so kind to come and help me out and let me see like the green side of like, this like CSS framework. So in short, we have to thank Amadou for making this happen because if not, I would not be like building like the UI that you guys have seen. And but let's go through the pain points first, and let's talk about Tailwind CSS, what it is, why we are so excited about it. And one thing that I say to everybody is Tailwind for everybody. I think you have to have some strong notion in CSS first before you start playing with it. But once you start playing with it, you have to understand there's a learning curve. But that learning curve is not that bad. It becomes very intuitive very quickly. We will talk about the advantage of Tailwind another time. And if you really want to have a deep dive into it, ngconf 2021 Amadou stock. There is no other place to go to find out about that. So today we are gonna have an install in an NX workspace. I have been like dealing with like NX for like I think the last 4 or 5 months. That's all I've been doing. NXing, that's what I call it. And when it was time to do Tailwind, I was like, okay, I really need to get Tailwind in here. And then like I was having some struggle, and Amadou helped me with it. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a brand new NX workspace in Angular. Then we're gonna like do two types of adding Tailwind to it. One of them is based on Amadou's article, and I'm gonna be starting to share my screen. Share the screen. There you go. Um, Let me do that. Okay. And I'm gonna get out of here. So you're gonna see this color desktop thingy. I highly recommend this. That's what we're gonna essentially be using here. The article, and then the second part. There's a community plugin that was done by the guy at NG and we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do two branches. First with like the step by step from Amadou. Second, we're gonna do the NG neat. So Amadou is gonna help me essentially with the first part. Zach is gonna help me, but at any time, they're gonna be free like to jump in and give us tips and best practices as we go. So I'll let my guest say a quick word, 1 2 minutes, and then we'll get into it. So Zach, why don't you go first?
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I feel a little bit like a fraud. I know how to install Nginx because Evan Payne told me about it. He uses it on his side project, and I was looking to do a profile project that I think we'll take a look at in a little bit here. And I was like, okay, how do I do it? Evan, he's like, use Nginx. And I was like, okay. And I went through, and it's literally like, 4 steps. And so I just followed those steps, and I had Tailwind, and it was pretty cool. So when I saw you like in the throes of despair, I was like, dude, just use this, just use this. But huge props to Chow for maintaining that, and B Man for working on that. They did some really cool stuff there, and they have specifically some schematics we'll see for NX workspaces, which was exactly what I needed. So, yeah, very excited to be here. And Amadou, I'll pass the baton to you.
Hi everyone, I am also very excited to be here because I love Angular, I love Tailwind, so I am happy to be talking about these two subjects today. So let's get started.
All right. Cool, cool. Thank you, guys. And I'm not sure if you guys can see. Can you see my screen? And let me know if the font is right, if it is like big enough.
I can barely read it. Maybe
You can
bump it up a
barely
little
let
bit.
me.
That's better.
That's better. Okay. All right. Cool. So the very first thing, I mean, of course, I will assume that you do have like the NX installed on your. You'll have like NX installed. I think that's version. That's how you like. But anyways, this telling me that I have NX. Don't yell at me, Jeff Cross. Anytime I have like an NX error, I just say, "Don't yell at me, Jeff Cross." Anyways,
It looks
that's my
like. Do you need to go into one of your mono repos? Are we
no,
using
no.
correct
That I was
directory?
just like, that's fine. I'm just like, I just
Oh, okay.
created a new directory called Monos, and I
Okay,
just wanted
gotcha.
to make sure. So let me see if I usually the one thing that I believe that we need to do. I'm not in a NX workspace, so I'm gonna create my NX workspace, and we'll do this. So let me go ahead and just clear this out, and let's do NX create workspace. And I'm just gonna call it Tuki. Tuki means to travel in my language, so that's gonna be the workspace. You get to learn something new every day. So
So you got to use that command it's telling you right there. You were close.
okay, I was almost there.
Yeah, almost there.
You know the thing with me is I want to know all of this by heart. So there's the NX DevTools, but I don't like using it that much.
Oh,
So
I love the NX
I
console.
love it too. It's great. So okay, there you go, guys. We are creating a new NX workspace. We call it Tuki. If you don't know what Tuki is, it means travel. So I'm trying to keep like the word filling the void. Okay, let's go with Angular. That's what we want. True.
True.
And then the application name, I'm just gonna call it I don't know, travel. I have no idea.
You
You
can
guys
call it
tell me.
Toki too. That's the thing.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
How
We
did you
see a lot
say
of
it? That's
NX.
kind of cute the way that you say it. Tuki.
Am I doing it right? Sorry.
Tuki. Tuki.
Tuki. Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
I'll get it.
Oh
Give
man.
me.
And that's the thing though. Now that I know that I'm probably not gonna use much CSS, I don't care. I'm just gonna say yes. Or what do you guys suggest? SAS, CSS, whatever. It doesn't matter.
CSS.
CSS, okay. And yeah, whatever. And NX Cloud, why not?
Add it. Add it. Woo.
No,
So
I
we
like.
monitor how many people install that.
Yes,
So we just boosted our
I,
numbers.
that's my contribution, man, to the bigger scheme of things. So I like to
Nice.
help you out, guys. Help you out. Okay, so while it's doing that, hopefully it goes pretty fast. But I really wanted people to see that we starting this from scratch, even though I have built the stuff first. But yeah,
Yeah. So it's too late for us to do it now, but as advice, so we used MPX, which is like a script installer for npm. There's actually now performant npm that's out, so pnpm.
PNPM. You were telling me about that. I think we need to make an episode about that at some point.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's just npm, but it's just a little faster. So it's like it's not like Yarn where you have a different lock file. It's the same lock file, and it's just faster. So yeah,
All
it's kind of cool.
right, cool. We found zero vulnerabilities. I love when I see those type of stuff. There you go. Okay. So we're not gonna go throughout like I'm gonna give you a tour of NX or anything. We know that we're gonna have a folder with apps, another folder with libs, and so on and so forth. Go and like watch Isaac's course about all of those stuff. So what we're gonna do today, let me just like open that folder. So it's here. So I think I have a code folder somewhere. I always have a code folder. In my OSC, where's code? Users. That's me. Code. Monos. Tuki. Okay, let's select that folder. I'm sure there's 500 ways to do that. But here, we have like apps, we have our libs and everything. So for the first part of this, since like the aim here is to make sure that we get Tailwind CSS installed, that's what we're going to focus on for the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then we can like do other cool stuff if we have the time. So let's make sure that this works by coming here, and I think I can do npm run start, which is just a hook for ng serve, I believe, or nx serve. Yeah. Okay, so actually, I really want to use this guy. Well, I don't care. Yes, that's fine. It is just a proof that I leave like 4200 alone because it's just a proof that it works. So if anything happens, we can always fall back onto that. Okay, compile successfully, and then now we can open here at that beautiful design that was made by like the NX team. No pun intended, but this is really good. So let's go here. The very first thing that we do, we love that design so much that we're gonna go into apps, into the source file, and then just get rid of it. So we're taking everything out. Control Alt, delete, and make sure we do the same thing here. Control Alt, delete, and then I'm going to say clean slate. All right. So when we go back, we have a clean slate. Okay. So far, so good. Now, I want to take this text that I have from the one that I showed you before. Let me take this, go back to Tuki. Let's go back here. And I'm just going to have a header component, and inside of it, I'm just going to put this right there. Okay. Now, once we get like, what is it called? Once we get like Tailwind installed, we should see like the Tailwind show up here. Does it make sense? Okay, so makes now sense. Let's go step by step with Amadou's article. And Amadou, if you want, either I can put it side by side. I think we can do that, so it's easier. I don't know how it's going to look for the rest of the audience, but we can do that. And let me put it right here. And let's get some space here. And it's mostly going to be right here. Okay. So let me kill this for now. And clear out. And the very first thing, as you might have guessed it, is I'm going to install the dependency. So the list of dependency, Amadou, you can comment on that, is basically we're getting post CSS CLI, the latest for post CSS, and we're putting it in our self dev. I think self dev, okay, I thought that like nowadays it is like by default.
So save is by default, but
yeah, save dev is like, so if not, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
let's
save dev will put it into your dev dependencies.
Dev dependency.
Regular dependencies, yeah.
All right, so let's do that. And let me get ready. My copy and pasting is going to be on fire today. I swear to God.
Nice.
So I've been training those muscles for a little bit. All right, cool. So let's clear this out again and then go to the next step, which is installing Tailwind CSS. And I'm one of the few people who don't like Yarn at all. I don't know. So B-Man, don't kill me. And anybody else who love it, I'm just not one of those.
Dude,
I'm
I
an
honestly
N.
have no opinion either way. Like,
I
it
just like
doesn't matter to me.
I just don't see the mandate of moving over to it. I just don't see it's not justified for me yet to do that. So yeah, but don't kill me. I'm still friendly. There you go. All right. So now, um, so can you tell me about this dash p flag Amadou? Why is it important?
Well, if you use this command, it will scaffold the Tailwind configuration file. So you will have two files, one tailwind.config.js for the Tailwind configuration file, but also a post CSS config file. So this command will help you scaffold these two files so that you don't need to do it yourself.
Okay, so that like you was just saying, now we have Tailwind config that was created after we run that command, and then the post CSS config.
Exactly.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Now that we have that, we're gonna do this step, which is in the Tailwind config part. Let's go to the Tailwind config, and basically we just wanna in the purge. That's what we wanna do.
Exactly.
Okay, but I'm gonna copy here first because we are in an NX workspace. We have to say that when the article came, he was talking about just a single Angular app, but we want to be able to have it like translate into our NX workspace. So, what is it that we need to do here next in order to adapt it for the NX workspace?
So here you need to give him the path to your HTML and TypeScript files.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess with NX we have an apps folder and a libs folder. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can just change your path to apps and libs.
So, apps here, and for
Yes,
projects, we go to libs. All right, so that's all we need to do for now for this part, huh?
exact.
Okay, cool.
Eddie, I
So,
just
so,
wanted to applaud your use of the multiple typing
oh
cursors there.
man,
That was
I'm
awesome.
I'm a text like what is it called? TextMate or something? Oh man, I'm a big fan of if something doesn't have that, if an ID doesn't have multiple cursor, curse them.
We're
I
done.
Well,
don't know.
We're
Yeah, we
done.
done.
if you use Tailwind, I think that this is one of the first shortcuts that you need to learn because, well, you
Mm.
will be editing a lot of similar class names, so it is very
Oh,
handy.
yeah, that's great. That's very good to know. So now we're gonna go to the post CSS file. Now the post CSS file came with Tailwind CSS, but let us know why we don't need the auto prefixer, Amadou.
Well, because we are using a manual process, right? We will be building our CSS file and
Mm-hmm.
then give the CSS to the Angular CLI. And the Angular CLI under the hood will use auto prefixer to add all the prefixes for all browsers. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we don't need it here. So
Okay,
if you
so it
leave
would be
it, it is,
yeah,
yeah,
it would be redundant if we had it. So we don't need
exactly.
it here. Angular is gonna do that under the hood for us. All right. Now, this was the cool one for me. So we're going to create a PCCSS file. So let me do control copy here. And let's see, we're at the root of at the root of what? Of our
Uh,
app.
yeah, do it to inside your app. So inside apps slash Tuki.
Hmm. Here, right here.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So let's do that. And we call it post, oh, styles at PCSS. Okay. Post CSS file. And that's the one that is going to be getting like importing like the tailwind like dependencies basically.
exactly.
Okay, and then be very careful here. We are doing PCSS, not CSS. PCSS is the extension. Okay, so like it will take the directive into that. Now we're gonna add an npm script to our process here. So I'm just gonna for now copy this part, these three guys, and we're gonna adapt it for the sake of time. So control copy. Let's go to our package JSON. And in here, in my script tag at the end, I'm going to paste it here. And let me just give it some space. So the post CSS build, now we're going to have to adapt this since the path is going to be different.
Exactly.
So we're going to do apps, I believe. And then that's going to be Tuki and SRC. Is that, yeah, that's the one. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side here.
Exactly.
Okay, Control V. All right. So for those who are saying, I have multiple apps, what is it like? Chill. We'll get there. Okay. Right now, let's get one working. So this is what post CSS is gonna target, and the output is gonna be a style CSS. Okay, but one thing that I need to note, we have started our NX Workspace in Angular with a CSS like thingy, so this is going to override it. So if you had SCSS, you will just import this in your SCSS. If you already have an existing CSS one, be careful. This is going to be overwritten. So I just wanted to be very clear about that. So now the next part, do we change anything here?
I don't think so. I think that we are ready to use Tailwind now.
Okay, cool. Now, let's say Control S, and then I want to go back to my app component file, and I'm going to add a couple Tailwinds classes here. So let's do class, and I'm going to do BG Indigo 600 and text center, I believe.
By the way,
what else? Yeah,
do you
don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. Don't say it.
Okay, no problem.
So I will say text center, and then I will do what is it called? I will do text indigo. I'm gonna say text indigo 400. Now I'm doing this out of memory, and I have a very short memory because I just started Tailwind CSS about 2 days ago, to be real. This is not going to be maintainable. I'm getting old. I cannot remember all these classes. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to find an extension that is called Tailwind IntelliSense. And I already have it installed. But the cool thing about it, Amadou, now I can let you talk.
Well, I don't use VS Code, but I think that this extension is very great, and it is a must if you are using Tailwind CSS in your Angular application or whichever framework you are using. So I really like this extension, but I don't use VS Code. I use WebStorm, and we have now on WebStorm an official plugin for Tailwind CSS. So working with Tailwind CSS is also very easy on WebStorm.
Cool. So it will do like IntelliSense for you, and it will do like some autocomplete, and it will give you like a sense of the sizing and everything like that. So it's a very cool one. But I have one more treat for you guys. Let's go to this page. Actually, I'm gonna get out of the. We done for this. Enjoy. Yes, we done. So now let's go to here, and I found this page a couple days ago. I have it almost always open. You see, this is very cool too, because you can just do this. It will show you like the different classes, and then there's a link that goes to the docs.
Nice.
But if you have multiple screens, you can just like put it on the side, look at the quick reference, combine those two, and put it there. Now let's go back to our Tuki site. Let me refresh this. It's not running right now, so let's go back to, it's not running because I killed the server. There we go. And one thing that I want to install here real quick is this extension called fkill. For anybody who has been having trouble with like multiple node thing going, you can just use this extension, and I want to kill anything that is on 4200. Oh, come on. It's not working. Anyways, so npm run. That's live and direct, man. npm run
You
start.
may need a new terminal.
Yeah, that's what it is, pretty much. Oh, you can do,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. So, oh, come on. You gotta keep up, man. It's the 21st century, for God's sake. So, fkill, command not
Still
found.
nothing.
So,
I don't know.
don't worry about it. We'll talk about fkill when we talk about npm. npm run start.
That's a
There
good
you go.
tip, though. I always end up like querying for processes running on a port and then killing those. So that would help me save a step.
Yeah.
It's still
Come on. Generating browser application bundle fees. Oh, come on, buddy. I'm never going to killing the server again. So we're good. So now we can see, look, the styles went to 10 megabytes, which shows us that the Tailwind CSS is here, which
that's a lot of CSS.
I know, because it's a lot of utility classes, but that's why we have post CSS, and then it's going to shed out all of that. So don't freak out yet. We're not shipping 10 megabytes of CSS. We're not doing that. Okay, so when we come back to, where are we? Is that here? What's the port number? I did not even catch it. 54817. Oh, come on, buddy. That's not what I asked you to do. This one. Come on. Control click. There you go. Ooh, look at that. I have my indigo background. I am tailwinding, man, this thing, man.
Nice.
This is cool. Now, Amadou, before like people freak out with this 10 megabyte, what do we need to do? We need to run a build to shed out like the extra CSS?
Yes, so maybe you can show the Tailwind config, please, a little bit.
Let's do that. Let's go to the Tailwind config. Where are you? Right here.
Yeah, so we have on line 2 the purge section. And this is because under the hood, Tailwind CSS uses a tool called purge CSS that will scan all these files and see which CSS classes, which Tailwind utilities are used inside these files. So if a CSS class is not used inside these files, it will be removed from the main CSS bundle. So yeah, so to use it, you need to run a production bundle for your post CSS.
Okay.
So maybe we added the script in the package.json file. So you just need to run npm run pre-build. I guess it is called pre-build.
Let's go to our package and look at the script. So the pre-build here.
Exactly.
Okay. So should I just kill this one first and do it again, or it doesn't matter? I can open a new terminal and do it.
I think if you want to show
the difference,
the size, you need to kill it so that you can see the size.
Let's do that. And what do I do? Clear. Oh man, I miss like my Mac keyboard right now. So okay. But the funny thing is, like, when streaming, this Windows computer is the best one I have for streaming.
Yeah.
So so I'm gonna do npm run pre-build.
Yes, but I think with that we have a problem here because well, if you restart the application, it will override the CSS, but you can just serve the application with NX serve so that we don't run the pre-start hook.
Okay, let's do that for now. So I just wanted to see the bundle, like shrinking down the bundle here. So we got, so the pre-build has run, and then now I'm just going to say NX serve, and that's like this.
You can just do NX serve.
And that will go to the default app. Yeah.
Yes. Since you only have the one, it'll always do that one.
There you go.
Otherwise, I think you'd have to do NX Tuki serve. Did I say it right? Tuki?
Yeah. Tuki.
Yes! I told you I'd learn.
That's great, man. All right. So the initial total, if I go to the styles, now we have only about 371 KB of styles, which I feel like is still big, but we can make that better.
It's a lot better than 10 megabytes at least.
Oh yeah, it's way better than 10 megabytes. But if you get that, so and we are on localhost 5. I swear to God, I need to get rid of 4200, but I don't want to. Okay, so what happened to my? Okay, there it is. Cool. So now we see the process. So now the other question would be, how do we make it do the same thing for if I had X number of apps or X number of libs? I think you were mentioning like the NX commands that you can run. I don't know, Zach, what you think would that be the right place to put those stuff? Is that the one that I'm looking at? There's one where if you want something to happen for every single folder. What was it? Amadou, you shared it with me last time. You remember?
Maybe there is a run command. The first one,
yeah.
maybe.
Run commands is that's what you use if you want to do like a builder that just like runs like what you type in the CLI, right? So
yeah. And I saw one where it allows you to make it for every single folder or like the ones that you put in there. I saw something else. I'll remember it and I'll post it. But anyways, so for the first part, the manual, I will say the step-by-step part. What I like about this and why I'm so like, I have one project that is using this setup. What I like about it, I did not have to deal with an external Webpack config. I did not have to like try to understand. I'm one of those people that don't like Webpack that much. It's not like that I don't like Webpack itself. I don't think that I want to spend time in tooling. To me, I just want to plug and play and focus on building my components. And I have a lot of developers that are that way. So this step, even though I wrote like a couple like NPM script here, and I did a little thing, I did not have to deal with an external Webpack config at all. So for those of you that are comfortable with that type of scenario, I cannot recommend enough like this step by step. Now, Amadou, you are already like aware of it because I got those steps from you. Zach, what question do you have or what comments do you have about it, since probably this is the first time you're seeing it being done this way?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I feel like I wouldn't have thought of doing it this way. I feel like, but I think it's definitely valid. Like the one thing that makes me a little nervous would just be like so if I had just run NX serve, I don't think our post CSS would run at all. So I don't think Tailwind would get in there. Which is fine. You just have to know to like run npm start. Is that right, Amadou?
Yes.
Am I missing something?
Yes, it's right. But in fact, in my project, if you want, you can get rid of the pre-start script and just run the build once and put the CSS file in Git. Gotcha. And never touch it, because when you work with Tailwind, you rarely modify the config file. You just write some HTML and you add your utility classes. So you can leave it forever like this in Git until you need to modify something inside the Tailwind CSS config file. So if you do that like this, you won't need to run the pre-start hook. You just do Nx serve and it works like that. And when you want to deploy your application, anyway, you are doing Nx, maybe npm run build, and then it will run the pre-build step.
Makes sense. That's cool. I think it's definitely nice to not have to deal with the web stuff. So that's definitely helpful.
That's why
Cool.
I wrote this guide because, well, to
I
get
think the
started with
big
Tailwind.
maybe the best thing about Angular is not having to worry about that stuff most of the time. Like
Yeah.
it's just free. I'm very grateful for that. So staying in
Yeah,
that world is definitely nice.
exactly. And so we have that. Now I want to get to the same point again, real quick, if unless you guys have
Yeah.
more comments around it. So let me do a clear here, but let's do this. So let me
Yeah, Addie,
so
if you
let's
want, I can actually share my screen because I'm at a good starting point to show. If we want to show that, we wanted to show the ng neat part. Is that right?
okay. Yeah. So let me do real quick git status, whatever else we got it. Okay. And I want to do git checkout B. I'm just going to call it step by step. All right. That's fine. And git at all. Sorry, man. I'm old school. I'm command line. Sorry. So, and
I
then
like command line for Git too.
let's do git branch. So we do have master and things. So now I want to get back to master, where we're gonna just now. I did not commit, so sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm taking step by step, and let's just do git commit initial commit. I swear it's almost done. And now let's go back to master. All right, so now we can get a new feature branch. Check out B, and we call it ng neat Tailwind. Yeah, so if you want, we can either do it here. You can like get me to go like step by step here on this one, or we can just switch to your screen. Let me know which one we
Yeah,
want
let's weird stuff with the versions to make sure this will work for the demo.
to. Okay.
Otherwise I'd be happy to walk you through it. But I think
Okay.
yeah, as a heads up, I think Chow is aware of this. When I got into the project and installed the latest versions, there was some issues. So I'm pointing at a version I know works for now, just for the sake of this demo. But you know, this is all done on their own time, and I'm very appreciative for all the work they've done. So hats off to you, Chow. But I'm showing here on the right hand side. We can see it good, I think. Let's make it a little bigger. So this is, oh, that went to mobile view, even better. So this is their GitHub project for ng neat. You'll see it's they got a nice little GIF of what's going on there. But we're going to jump down here to usage with NX. And so the first thing you would do is you would install ng neat Tailwind. You can see this is the command I've already run, so we can kind of skip installing. But if you're following along, go ahead and run that command. And once you have that, our next step would be to execute the schematic, or the generator as we call it, the NX setup. So I'm actually going to use the NX console here. So if I go to the console and click generate, let's make this bigger, and a little bigger, and I search for ng neat, we can see there's the schematic. Actually, if you look at this drop-down view, this will show you all the schematics you have available, which is really cool for discovery and all that stuff. But I'm sorry, I'll try not to plug NX too much here. But once you got that clicked, let me shrink this down a bit. You get this nice little form that shows you all the potential options you could have, right? So I named my project, I didn't name it Tuki, unfortunately. I named it Example. But we got this now, and I ran it with SCSS, so I'm just going to keep that there. I'm not going to click this option here.
Jim Becker on YouTube was asking about SCSS, so that's relevant. Please go ahead.
Sure. Oh, and there's Brandon. Hey, Brandon.
Yeah. What's
How's it
up,
going,
Brandon?
I always love saying hi to Brandon. But yeah, we got this is a dry run that runs. So every time like our form changes a little bit, NX console will automatically run the dry run for you. But everything looks good here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click run. This is actually going to run it. And I think interactive is turned off, so I'll just say no, I don't want to use the beta Webpack builder for now. And that did it. And let's take a look real quick at what's going on in our changes. If we see, so this is, so Amadou's approach, we added some scripts to the package JSON, so some NPM scripts. This one is changing out your builder. So where you were using the standard Angular builder, which is a great thing to have. I really like that about Amadou's approach, but we're switching it out for this custom Webpack builder instead. We're also, and this is going to be similar to what Amadou showed, but this is automatically generated to you. You can see, this stuff was already added to our purge and stuff like that. And if we go to our Webpack config, there's a bunch of stuff here. I don't really know what it's doing, but that's all right. I just read the schematic and I want to use it. But I'm sure there's Webpack masters out there who knows what's going on in here. And then in our styles.scss. So this is the one inside of our apps example source, like the main one for the app. We're just going to import like the
I like the part that it does all of those for you, because you open your style CSS and it's importing like all of those components at the top. That's very cool.
Yeah. So I think everything's set up here. We'll find out. I'm going to open up NX console again. I'm going to click serve. I'm going to click my example app. I'm going to go ahead and click run. Let's see if this works. There we go. Running stuff. And compiling. And if this works, it'll stop for a bit at 50. Yeah, I think it's working. There you go. 50%. This is where all that post CSS stuff is happening. And then we'll go ahead and come on. What's nice about YouTube is you can just fast forward through these parts, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean you have about 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Then we need to build the UI. So yeah.
We got it. We got a whole bunch of megabytes in there because we're not running a prod build. But yeah, same thing, similar stuff going on with the styles. I think Amadou's example had a similar thing. When you serve, we just go ahead and run everything. If you do a prod build, we go ahead and that'll trim out the styles we're not using. And then let's just go back to our browser, localhost, and we didn't clear that out. But if I go to index.html, not index.html, I want app component.html, and I don't know, let's give this class equals text small, I think. Is it text small or font small? Oh, I believe I need to clear these out too. There we go. Okay.
I think it is text SM, right?
Text
I
SM.
don't remember.
Let's see. I was worried the existing stuff was canceling it out. If I go to text SM, there it goes. That made it smaller, I think.
Yay!
Let's try like 3XL.
Awesome.
Let's just prove this works. Boom! We did it. So cool. I think very much the same. Two very similar approaches. Amadou's definitely has the advantage of sticking with the default builder, which I think is a huge plus. Mm-hmm. This way is maybe, I don't know, the benefits are, you have the schematic for it. You have, stuff is, you don't have to worry about like, do I run npm start or, do I run nx serve? That's maybe a minor benefit. But yeah, that's about it. So cool.
All right. Cool, man. That's very cool. So what I'm going to do Thank you. I mean, I'm so blessed, man. I have two like masters who are just telling me, "This is how you do it. Can you
Oh,
guys come and work with me?" You just like stay like left
dude,
and right.
Addy, based on your tweet, I thought I was the curious cat and you were the two masters.
Oh, come
So
on, man. That's not happening like that. Well, we all knew that Amadou was the master, and you, come on, man. I'm just the curious cat. I'm just the one. I'm so nervous that I'm just talking and talking. That's like to show you how nervous I am.
I do the same
So,
thing, man. I do the same thing.
but yeah, so basically, two things that are very important though. Why some people would not worry about Webpack? Because some organization that I work with, they don't want that. They absolutely don't want that. They don't want a Webpack config because then like developers start going crazy. So for me personally, it is if I absolutely need like an external Webpack for something else, beyond just Tailwind CSS, I get like the double benefit of not only have it properly configured, and then I can just like piggyback on that. But if it is just to do Tailwind, I might go the other way. So it's always good to have options. So you guys just like go
Yeah.
with whatever you feel more comfortable with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through the building of the UI, and I wanted to show how once you have the thing in place, it becomes really plug and play with Tailwind because there's two sides of it. There's this side where like there's a lot of components that are already built by the community, and then that you just can just like pick up and drop into your project and start tweaking. And there's another one that I'm going to be talking about next week, which is like taking like something like Zeppelin and do a workflow with Zeppelin to quickly learn, the stuff. So the one that I'm going to show today is plug and play and how I build this UI that I've been sharing on Twitter. So let me share back, share my screen, and so we are here right now, and this is the landing page, a virtual landing page for a travel website. And then since nobody can travel, we are offering them like a VR experience. So you staying on your couch or whatever you are, and then you just have this immersive experience all around. So the very first thing that I did, I went to the Tailwind UI official and I looked at like what they have here, and all I had to do was just to copy this guy. So the code is right here. It's very extensive. That's a very big like component. But the very first step that I did is I just like copied this, and I went to my app component. So I'm gonna close everything else. Actually, I need to go back to this guy because that's the one that has the code. And I'm gonna go to my app component and I'm gonna close everything else for now. Well, not close all. Come on, buddy. Somebody help me. So there you go. So now here, under header, I'm gonna paste the NX, not the NX, the Tailwind component that I got from the Tailwind UI. So, and I'm gonna just call this hero section. So if I save this and I go back to wherever Tuki is, if it is running, no, it's not. So that's why. Let's go back and make sure that we do NX serve.
Well, I think you need to run npm start.
I need to
Sorry.
do npm start. Okay.
Yes,
So
because we
do.
have overwritten the file, so.
Yeah, you're right. So let's do npm run start or npm start, whatever. I think start is one of those that doesn't need a run or whatever. Yeah. So let's say yes.
While we're waiting for this to build, I'll say, Eddie, I use the same exact process. Different template, but same exact process to build my site.
Oh yeah, you have to.
So
You have to. So now we got that, and now we're not gonna. I'm gonna leave this server open from now on, so we go faster. And then boom, you see that we
boom.
already starting having that. So, and then you go to like Unsplash, and I'm gonna find like night. I mean whatever. What did I? I didn't even know what I called it. What's that? HDR. Yeah, HDR photo. So, and if you are anal like me, you say only landscape. And let me take, this guy looks like a good candidate. And all you have to do, right click on it and then copy the image address. Let's go back to our stuff here. Let me do a quick search for Unsplash. There you go. And what I'm going to do, give it some space. Okay. And here, I'm going to take out the entire SRC because that's going to be easier. And then here I do SRC again, and I paste this stuff, Control S. We go back to Tuki. Okay. It's going to give me a JIT problem because I probably like butcher something. So SRC.
Are you sure that you are looking at the right app, the right
Yeah,
port?
that's true too. So there you go.
There it is. Too many tabs.
Let's pin this one. Look, this is what I do about tabs, but I don't wanna. Let me show you what I do about tabs that I don't like anymore. Oh, I still need you. Come on. All right. So I don't need this one anymore. And I'm just going to do close tabs to the right. There you go. Less confusion now.
Hey, I learned something new today, too. Another new thing.
There you go. So there's that. I had some style ready for my app component. I'm going to take this header, put it back there. Control copy and go to our project. Make a nicer header here for us. Control V, Control S. Okay, we can do that. And you see, it's like, even in here, we see it like now. So I'm building the UI step by step. So the other thing that I did while I was here, I took this guy basically right here, this transaction a better way, and I adapted it for this guy right here. Okay. So for the sake of time, we have like people who have a hard stop at 2. I'm just going to copy and paste. If people are interested on the step-by-step, we can do another episode, but I'm just going to copy it over. Since we promised that we would build it, you can see it being built, being copy and pasted. Sorry, guys. So let's see in here. Then I'm done with the first component. This component, I went to Vimeo. I just took their embed code. But the cool thing about it that I wanted to show is that the NX class here, why I always, when I want to say Tailwind now, I'm saying NX. the Tailwind class, which is giving me a grid here. So I have the header. And then here, I'm using a grid class, which is like grid gap column, like the gap of 4, and then grid column 2. And quickly, Amadou, I believe if I wanted to do like something for medium, I can do MD and do grid. And you see now I have the IntelliSense of like Tailwind CSS with that extension, and then I will just do grid calls 1. So in medium, it will like go for this. And I think small will already take it because you're at medium. So if I'm correct, let me know. But these are the things that I really like about Tailwind. Just like shouting that out in between. So
responsiveness is so easy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
it
this.
becomes very, very easy. And then they have like the max height. I mean, come on. Don't get me started on Tailwind. This is not about Tailwind. This is about installing Tailwind on an Angular application. So, uh, once again, do not miss like Amadou's talk for ngconf when he was going to be going into the details there. So, what is happening here? Did I save it? So, I'm in app component. Oh, I'm in app component of the other projects. That's why. So let's do this. Let me copy this over. Control copy and go to Tuki. And here, that's what I want it to. After the hero section, let's call this promo. And under that, we're going to do our Control V, Control S. And you see, so I want to make sure that I'm Tuki. And this is localhost. So that's the other one. So on Tuki now, you see, because I did that MD stuff, I'm going to come back and remove it. And you're going to see them side by side. Because on Windows, my screen is at 200% right now. So let me get rid of that. Header is this guy. And
Well,
let me
Adi, I
take...
think that you should put grid core 1 by default, and on
Mhm.
medium size, grid cores 2. Because on smaller devices, you just want one column. So
That makes sense. So let's do copy that and do MD this. And then here, Control V. One thing though that I like to kind of do is anything that is kind of related, I try to put them side by side. So I know that this is like the grid definition for me. Then I will go into gap. Then this is like my margin. So I try to at least, so yeah. So they're not all over the place. But that's another thing to tackle another time. So after doing that, you can see that Tuki has changed. So and so forth and so on. Basically, I adapted. This component was originally this one, so I took out this part and I made it the header, and I took this and I went ahead and like found like some relevant SVGs. And honestly, finding those SVGs took more time than building like the damn component. So I don't know if you guys want me to
SVGs be
keep.
like that, man.
Yeah,
SVGs be
I
like
don't.
that.
I don't know if you guys want to have me keep going, but that's basically how I ended up just
Oh,
building like this part and then starting building a footer.
yeah.
But we can stop here and then just like open up the rest for questions.
Addy,
And
do
what
you mind
else?
if I show off that thing I wanted to demo real quick?
Oh yes, you
I think
have.
it'll
Yeah,
take like
yes.
15 seconds here.
Okay.
So.
Do we have any question on YouTube or anywhere else? So let me stop sharing.
Oh
Stop.
no, keep sharing, Addy, if you don't mind. It'll be more impressive if it's on your screen. And just
Okay.
go to. I'll send you the link here in the private chat again.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Privy chat. So copy the link address. Okay, let me share again. All right, and share. Okay, Control V. Nice. I like
Boom.
that. I like that little. I'm gonna
Yeah.
steal this, man.
Nice, you should. But anyways, here, because we're just wrapping up this one, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm in my admin portal right now. I'm going to go ahead and submit a new video. Boom! Firebase, baby!
Now you're showing off. Now you're showing off.
And I get to showcase your beautiful design work there, Addy.
My
It's
design
awesome.
work. I was crying. I'm like, man, design is hard, man. Shout out to all the designers out there that makes us look cool. Thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Well, yeah. So Amadou's going to be doing a talk at ngconf about this really cool Tailwind stuff. Me and Nicole actually had our talk selected too, which is animations and reactive code. So it's something cool we
Great.
can kind of talk about there. So we get to both go, Amadou. It's awesome.
Both shout outs, man. I'm a lucky guy, so that's for sure. So yeah, that's what we had today for this. I hope that everybody enjoyed it. I mean, I was like streaming. I was very nervous to stream during my lunch break, so sorry about that if I felt if you felt rushed. But I was so happy that like we were just able to think about it, get it done, and then get it out to the community, because a lot of people are struggling with little things like this and there. In the bigger scheme, like when you're in an NX workspace, there's a lot of stuff that are like that have to be taken care of. And like shout out to the Nrwl team for like putting such a tool together. But on top of it, we have the Brandon Roberts, like the Zacks, the Amadou, the community that are coming in and always helping out. So I really enjoy being part of this community. So this was my small contribution to just like show you how it is done. But the reality is these two guys are the ones who really told me how it was done. So I'm glad to give them their flowers here. So thank you guys. If you have a quick goodbye and talk about your NGComp talk, and then let's pick it up next week.
Awesome.
Well, I just want to point out that in the next version of the Angular CLI, version 11.2, it will be much more easier to integrate Tailwind. You will need to install the package, then add the config, and it will be picked up by the Angular CLI. So no more
Yeah, I think you're breaking down Amadou, but what he was saying is like, yeah, that's a very good thing that the Angular team is gonna help us there with like having it natively as part of the of the library, I believe. And then the only thing that is kind of sad is a lot of enterprise clients do not just switch right away. So for those who are still going to be on Angular 8, 9, or whatever, you can use this. But as soon as you are like on 11 and you have it natively like supported, you don't even have to do this anymore. So like that is a very good like piece of news. Thank you, Zach. You have le mot de la fin, comme on dit. The ending,
what?
le mot de la fin.
Oh, dude, I'm no hero. Amadou's the hero. The guys at NG Neat, they're the heroes. They rock. I just sit back and like benefit from all this stuff. Tailwind too. I have no business having a site that looks that good. I am not a designer. I don't have a artistic bone in my body, I don't think. But Tailwind is super free, and so huge shout out to them for all the awesome OSS work going all over. So I'm just happy to sit back and benefit from it. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And then we see you next week. And then we see you like in a few minutes on Twitter. There's Beeman and Mike Harkington who are streaming right now, about Vim, I believe. So you don't want to miss that one too. So see you guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
See y'all.